have gone by. So the second module, as you know, we've called it, it's a continuation of the first. And here we have looked at a few things, which is comparisons and the relative position of things with when we look at it in terms of with other objects and data and over periods of time, right? So we understand that somebody can be called tall or short, but for as compared to somebody, otherwise it's difficult to say if someone is tall or short, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's difficult to say if somebody is tall or short.
Yeah. Like to me, Veera is short, but to Latu, Veera is tall.
Yes, correct. Now, when you look at this whole thought of statistics, mathematics, actually you have three distinct areas of maths. One area is called mathematics, which is the part that you are doing where you look at numbers to solve problems. One part is called geometry, where you look at shapes to solve problems. And then there is one part which is called algebra, where you use relationships to solve problems. Okay. And therefore, when they say that I am doing, when we say we are doing analytics, we could be using either pure numbers like you have done till now, whole number, etc., or you could be using shapes, or you can be using relationships to decide how to proceed, right? I think all of us are on the same plane till here, beta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
so for example of relationship, I'll tell you, if you are a person in class 6, anybody who's in class 3 would be your class minus 3, right? So when you move to class 7, where would that person go? Your class minus 3, they would have reached, right? So 7 minus 3, which is 4. So they would have gone to class 4. And when you go to class 8, where would this person go?
Class 5.
Yeah. So this is a relationship, right? That it is that this person is always 3 classes less than you. So Veera is always 3 classes less than you. Okay. So this is the relationship that we are talking about. Okay. I think you've also seen natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, and rational numbers. These form the building blocks. And one of the things that help us compare is when we start looking at certain signs. Like if two things are the same, then what is the sign we use? We use the equal to sign, right? Here you can see the equal to sign. When
Yes.
A is less than B, then what do you use?
The less sign.
Yeah.
The
And
one
when A is, exactly. And where it's more than B, what you use is the reverse of the less sign, right? So whichever is the larger value, there you have the two legs, and which side is the smaller value, you have one leg, 1 point. Okay. So this is how a big or a small is shown. And it means the same thing in a, number line. You can show the numbers which are larger, which are lesser by moving on the left or the right. So when it's greater than, you move on the right side. So 2 is greater than 1, 3 is greater than 2, and so on. And when you look at less than, then you move on the left side. So here you find 1 is less than 2, 0 is less than 1, minus 1 is less than 0, minus 2 is less than 1, right? So that's how the number line also moves. Okay. Now, then, in Excel, when we want to remove the signs, a -6 versus a 6, we just want to know that from 0, how many steps will it take? Which direction, we are not bothered. We just want to know number of steps. So then what happens? We use a formula called absolute to do this. Okay. Again, rational numbers are fractions, and you have fractions which can be proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed fractions. And you had seen what it means to be like and unlike fractions. Do you all remember?
Yes.
So like fractions are where you have the same denominator, unlike fractions are where you have different denominators. Okay. You can only compare fractions when the denominator is the same. So whenever you are looking at any fractions, the only way to compare to minus to plus is if the denominators are made the same. And therefore, that is the reason why decimals are easy to work with, because decimals, the denominator is always 1 by 10, 1 by 100, right? 1 by 1000. So it's easy to work with. Now, I think Ruben had also taken you through the scaling part, saying that ratios help you decide how to make a larger or smaller real life image, right? So you can use, if you're increasing the height of the horse by 2 times, then you have to increase the length of him also. Otherwise, he'll turn out to be a really awkward horse, right? Okay. Now there is something called a relative position or comparing. So how do you compare? Again, you compare by looking at things which are defined in a same values. Okay, so I cannot compare 2 liters with 50 grams. I can compare 2 liters with 3 liters or 4 liters, right? I cannot compare 20 kg with 6 feet. I can only compare 20 kg with 40 kg, 50 kg, or 6 feet with 8 feet, 10 feet, right?
You're saying it's supposed to be the same measurement. It's supposed to be the same thing, like only fruits to measure with. You can't measure fruits to tables or something like that.
Yeah,
So
but see,
same thing.
Yeah, comparisons can happen only if you can find a common ground. Okay, you can compare Megha's marks with Sharanya's marks with Vaishnavi's marks, but you cannot compare Megha's marks with Sharanya's height with Vaishnavi's speed of writing. You have to have common ground to compare. Okay. Then when you looked at geometry, you have already seen that you can have 1 dimension, 2 dimension, and 3 dimension numbers. So what are it? 1 dimension is a straight line, right? It has only 2 points. Okay. 2 dimensions is anything like a square, etc., which have length and breadth. And 3 dimensions is something like this, the cube here, where you have the length, breadth, and the height, the depth.
Yeah.
You had also looked at BODMAS, where you had seen that you have to solve an equation in a certain sequence called BODMAS, right? The bracket, order or power, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Now, when you look at algebra, we had talked about what we spoke about in that the class of Veera as compared to Sharanya. Veera is always 3 classes less than Sharanya. So what you can do is you can create an equation which says x minus 3. So whatever is Sharanya's class, Veera's class will be x minus 3. So when Sharanya is in 5th class, Veera is at 5 minus 3. Yeah. So that is what you had looked at as a part of comparison. And then we had looked at doing some of these problems. So how many of you have finished all these problems? Or should we do it together? I had shared this sheet, right? Can I have an understanding? Anyone did the problems? No?
No.
No? Okay, so let's do it together. We'll use Excel to solve these problems. Now the first question here is the division of nature protectors participate in the collection of chestnut tree 1. The division harvested 12 that is 1250 kgs. The second division by a fifth more than the first division, and the third division by a sixth more than the second division. What's a division? A division is like in the army, a division is a set of
A set of people or things they keep, and they have different ones like the army division and the navy division and that.
yeah, correct. So now what is it saying? That the first division, I'm just inserting some columns here, okay, as I'm doing the workbook. So let me write this. Now, what are we saying? That the three divisions of nature protectors participated in the collection of chestnut trees. Okay. Then what did division one do? So the first thing to do in any problem is to define the problem. Okay. So let's define it. Division one, what did they do? They collected 1250 kgs. So that is 1250. Now, you know, in maths, if there is any kg or something written, any formula cannot work. So if I write kg and then I want to divide it even by something as simple as 10, it will not work. Why? Because anything with the number and the letter together is not considered as a number. Okay. So what is a better way to write? It is better to write it as 250 and write over here the kg, because all the things in this column are going to be in kg. Is that correct? Is that making sense? Now let's see what division 2 did. What did division 2 do? Fifth more than the first division. So it got as much as the first division, plus it got 1 by 5 more. So what is 1/5? 1 by
Action.
5 more. So what do? We take this value, right, and multiply it by 1 divided by 5. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody who has any doubts over here? Now, to make foolproof this process, I have, by the Bodmer's rule, I have put the brackets here. Okay. So here. So therefore, how much total of division 1 total will be for division 2? What is the total? So how much did they pick? They picked this plus 1/5 more, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Hello.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
slide are you
The
in? Because it shows
screenshot-
me the algebra slide.
Yeah, it's still stuck for me.
I am here, beta. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. Okay. Okay. So in division 2, therefore, what have we got? We have got 1500. Why? Because it is this plus this. You know? So here you can see that I have put the formula. Is that correct? Now let's see what division 3 has done. Now what did division 3 do? Third division by a sixth more than the second division. So the third division did even better than the second division. What did they do? They did as much as the second division. So how much did second division do? So much. And they did 1 by 6 more. So this becomes this into 1 by 6. So again, this is 250 more. So how much finally did division 3 totally do? They did 1500 plus 250, right? Okay. Now let's see. Therefore, this is the final column. So what do? I am just doing a center alignment of my column, and I want to put this type of a border for my column. So all these types of fancy stuff you can do here. Okay, if you want. So division 3 is here, division 2 is at 1500, division 1 is at 1250. Now, how many tons of chestnut did they collect in total? So what are we to do? Division 1 plus division 2 plus division 3, right? So we want all their totals. So if I write total of all of this is going to be how much? Is equal to this plus this. This. So this is the total final amount of chestnut that was done by all three of them. Okay. Is this easy? Do you see this as easy? Now, as I said, I can do some small formattings, and here I get it all in a column. If I want, I can make this colored, right? If I want to add any beauty to it, I can add the colors. I can, if I want, I can even, if these are the lines I want to highlight, and I can do all this stuff. Agreed? These are optional stuff. This is not like if you don't do the coloring, it's not that your answer will vary. But I'm just trying to tell you in Excel, it's very easy to do these things. Anybody has a doubt? Are we all fine?
Ma'am, Shania is asking which sheet are you showing?
Sharanya, this is the worksheet which is shared with all of you for doing your
Yeah. Sorry, I had gone a bit too down. Sorry.
Now should we try the next question? Anybody has a doubt here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So see here, I mean, you can observe how easy it is to insert call rows and create space for yourself, etc. Right? Ida, you've done a lot of work with on Excel, so I'm thinking this all must be easy for you, Beta. Do you have any doubts?
Ma'am.
Okay. What is the remainder of the division of natural numbers 293 and 7? So what do you think is the number which is going to be divided, Beta? So we have what? Number 1, or I will call this as A. A is what? A is 293. Right? What is number B? The second number is 7. Now what do I want to do? I want to do
A
A
divided by
divided by B. So what do? I will do this divided by 7. Now what is the whole number here?
41.
So the quotient is,
41.
yeah, quotient is 41. Now the question becomes, if the quotient is 41, okay, so what is the remainder? So what does the quotient mean? It
It's
means,
what we are
yeah,
multiplying the
yes,
divisor with.
yes. So it means B into the quotient is the amount which is already covered, right? Which is equal to what? This is quotient into B. Okay. So out of 293, 41 times 7 gives you 287, right? So what is the remainder therefore? Anybody?
Yes.
Huh.
A minus 293 minus 287.
Yes. So
Or
the
A
remainder,
minus the part covered.
yes, A minus the part covered, right? So 6 is the remainder. Anybody who has a doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So what does this mean? That suppose I have these are the, this is the whole number, right? How many cells it has? Yeah, but I'm just numbering the cells out. So here, then I pull it, it forms the series, okay? Again, I am just demonstrating certain functions to you all. As slowly as you get used to it, you will find it easy to understand. Now, if I say divide 16 by 3, so A is equal to 16 and B is equal to 3, and divide A by B. So what is the answer? What is the answer? 5.33.
Since
Because, yeah, why? Because 3 into 5 is how much?
15.
Yes. So if I look at it visually, I can see that I can make blocks of 3, 3 each. So I can make this as one block, right? This as one block. This as one block. Sharanya, you should also know this, Hana?
Yes.
And this as one block. So what is the one left?
Remainder.
Yeah, remainder.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So then what we said is therefore the quotient over here becomes what, beta?
5.
5. Right? And therefore the divider into the quotient is what is the value which is already covered, right? Which is
Yeah.
3 into 5, which is the value which is actually divisible in total. And we have seen that is true. Agreed? So
Yeah.
what is the remainder? Only this one block is a remainder, right? So
Yep.
here I can
Yes.
find the remainder one, A minus. Okay. Anybody who has any doubt? Megha? Anybody?
No, ma'am, I don't have any doubt.
Yeah, nobody has. Khushi, everything looking good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see this one, and this one should be easy for all of you. So calculate how many years has man lived who has lived for 1, 2, 2, 4, 8 days. Okay. So how many days are making a year?
365.
365. Okay. So if I put over here the value, I'm going to write over here days, and I will write over here years. So 365 days make how many years? 1 year.
1.
Okay. So if he has stayed for 12 to 48 days, how many years he has stayed?
12,248 into 365.
Not into, right?
Divided by.
Yeah, divided by, because let's understand why are we saying that, because by this logic every day 365 days is equal to 1 year, so 1 day is equal to how much? How do I get 1 over here? So if I put 365 and I divide it by 365, then I get 1, right?
Yeah.
Now, so here also, what, because I have divided this by 365, I should divide this also by 365 because they are equal. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. So actually 1 day is equal to such a small fraction of a year. Okay. So when I say 12 448 days, how do I do it? I can do 1 into 12 448, right? Then this will become 12 448. Agreed? So what should I do on this side of it? This also I should multiply with 12 448.
Yes,
So how old is he?
33 and
years.
33.5.
3 years and a few
33.5.
5 months.
No, 5 by 10 months. And in a year, we have 12 months. So we will have to convert it to 0.5618. We will have to convert it to a monthly scale. But for now, it is good to say he is 33.5 years old. Okay. Okay, so let's um, do a similar thing. So we are saying that we have a lot of money, okay, and we have to buy apples. So when we have 100 rupees we get 4 apples, okay. So if I give, let me make this table a bit further away. So this is one table. Now, if I have my mother gives me money to buy apples worth 1200 rupees, then how many apples will I get? So first thing what you want to do is you want to understand in 1 rupee how much apple I get, right? So yeah.
Yes.
So how do I make 100 rupees into 1 rupee? I divide it by 100, isn't it? Yes. So then because 100 rupees is 4 apples, so this 100 divided by 100, it should be how much? 4 apples divided by what?
By 100.
Yeah, because you're dividing by 100 this side, so you should divide on this side also. Okay. So for 1200, how do I get it? In 1200, how much this 1 rupee is there? This is 1 into 1200, right? So how many apples over here? 48 apples. Okay. Now this logic works well when you are looking at Excel, because here you can calculate the fractions very well. Otherwise, what was the way to do it? What is another way to do the same thing? We can say 4 apples, they cost how much money? 100. So 1 apple costs how much money? How did you get 1 for 4 apples? How did you make 4 apples into 1? How can you make 4 into 1? Dividing it, right?
Divide.
Yeah. So you did 4 apples, you divided it by 4, then it became 1. So what should you divide this side? Whatever you do on the left side, you should do on the right side also. So this also you divided by 4. So you know that 25 rupees for 1 apple. Agreed?
Okay.
Yeah. So then you can make a chart, right? You can say for 10 apples, how much? So how do I make 1 into 10? I multiply that 1 by into 10, right? See, I'm trying to show you a thought process, because it's easy otherwise to for you to say it that it is this, but the point is, why are we doing it? In maths, what happens now? What you do on one side, you have to do on the other also. Okay. So then in 10 apples, how much should I get? This into 10, right? So if I make this into 20 apples, how much will I get? Right? Like this, I can even calculate manually, right? So if I have 40 apples, how much am I spending? Okay, I have 1200. So now I can increase this apples to 42, 45 and see where this goes. Hai na? Is that a way to do it also?
Yes.
Right? You understood the logic? So just remember that you might feel that, you can't have such a 0.04 apple. Yes, you can't. It is only to help you create the relationship. What have you done? You have created a relationship between the money and the apple. Okay. So whatever you do on the money side, you have done on the apple side. Therefore, further, when you have more money, you can decide how many apples you will get. Okay. No doubts, right? Akshaya,
Yes.
beta, you are following it?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So now we can see how the millimeters. So do you want to try to solve these problems by yourself now? Would you do it and share it in as a homework? What do you all think?
Yes, mom, we can do it together.
Yeah, you can do it together on Skype or on Hangouts. No, you can create a group and one day all of you can log in and do it together.
Mom, I've created a group. Only Akshaya and Vaishnavi have to join.
Okay, sure.
The link is in the chat.
Okay, Akshaya and Vaishnavi, you all may join. Okay, and you all can do it together. So you will see that it's quite interesting how these things work. Okay, and this is the logic that is used even later for solving these everyday problems. So if one store manager, Megha, Khushi, Sharanya, you all know the Royal Mart store, right? Now, if the
Yes,
store
mom.
manager wants to start a business
Yeah.
and he has 10,000 rupees and he wants to sell bananas, and in 100 rupees he gets 20 bananas. So how many bananas can he start his business with? Any such problem you can see by this you can do. Okay. Is that making sense, children?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I will share with you this workbook done till now. Okay, and you may please finish it and just share it back. Next class we can discuss further. Is that fine?
Ma'am, all of them?
Huh?
All of them?
Yeah, there are only 15, child. So we've done up till 3. There are only up till 15. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.